What? Biffy Clyro. So what? How did you discover this band?
I saw them live. They opened for, it was either Manchester Orchestra or Thrice. It was them, Oh Brother, and I think it was Manchester Orchestra was when I saw them. It was 3 dudes with no shirts on, running around on stage like maniacs, and my friend and I were like, who the hell are these guys? And then we went home and listened to 2 of their albums, and I've been a fan of them ever since.
Okay. I know nothing about them. Never listened to them.
I would call them alternative rock for sure, but they have like a quirkiness to them too. Okay. I think that's like their part of their, it's like Scottish culture almost influence. I don't even know what to call it.
So you know the best sounding album.
I do.
All right.
I listen to them pretty extensively.
Let's see if I can figure it out.
This first album I've never heard.
Are you starting with Blackened Sky?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll do the first song here. I'm feeling it's going to be very raw.
2002. Okay.
Very quiet.
Asleep at the door, next to destruction, reach for the source. Get up, get up, get over. Take me to your blackened sky.
Wow. It's a kind of a boxy snare.
Mix-wise, it's pretty good.
It's not bad.
The drums
it's very raw, but
nice.
It's good. Drums are a little...
It's got some power behind it there.
They're a little flat. I think it's just the overall raw sound of it is what I'm going to call it. But yeah, the mix, everything's kind of got its place.
His voice is
a little quiet here.
Yeah. His voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a little quiet, but...
Let's jump to another
something
song.
A little more, yeah.
Something that's got some... Usually they're pretty, like... They play a lot of fast stuff. With a lot going on. I'm surprised at how quiet this album is. Pretty consistent with the last song. Snare's a little... Still very raw.
Everything sits pretty nice. I mean, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Just hit one more before we jump to the next one. Different snare sound.
Yeah.
Different drum sound.
I don't know. When that really got up and going there, it was a little
messy.
Messy, yeah. It didn't sound bad, but it was just very... There was a lot happening there. The guitars were just like almost too loud.
Yeah. I'm going to say this is probably the most... It's going to be the most raw mix out of them. Now the artwork on the next album, I hope you don't get in trouble for it. But it's called the Vertigo of Bliss. I don't think I know anything from this album either. This is where they start.
No, that guitar is like right there.
Yeah. Still on the rawer side.
It's a little flatter once it gets going to me than the last album.
I agree.
Doesn't sound bad here.
The guitar sounds like it needs more. The drums are still punchy.
That guitar tone is just...
It's very thin.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like the last one was too much. This one I feel like it's not quite enough. Overall, I don't care for this. I think the first one sounded a lot better.
Sounded better too. Try another song or two from this one.
Is that for real? Please tell me that's...
I don't think the whole song's going to be like this.
Drums sound good again.
They do.
They got punch to them.
Sound better than the last song.
Yeah,
Punchy kick.
it is.
Good snare gives a good space in the mix.
Sits nice.
The guitar, the drums are kind of full in the middle, and then the guitars kind of give a little bit of space on the sides, but they don't.
Yeah, the guitars are
thin.
lacking. They're almost like in too far this way. They don't. Usually guitars sit a little.
I'd almost want them to be
Further
a
out.
little further out. Yeah,
Voice sounds good.
this sounds pretty good.
It's pretty consistent with the last album for the most part.
Try one more on here. Questions and answers. It changed again.
Yeah,
It's okay. That other song sounded better though.
we might only have to do 2 songs on each. I feel like it could be just pretty quick.
Probably, yeah. Next album, Puzzle. This is the first one I've heard from them.
Okay.
It takes a little while for this song to open up, but they start using trumpets, violins. Fast forward. I want to hear when the drums come in. There we go.
Take my face to the inside of the law. Nothing to eat but fingers in the backseat. Well, I'm that god and he had nothing.
Drums fell way back.
Yeah, they don't take as much space. The guitars sound better. They sound fuller. I think they're further out.
Guitar's right. Drums don't sound as dynamic. They're not as
Like borderline jingle bells.
yeah.
I like the vocal too. Vocal and the drum and the guitar
Again,
and
it's
the
like
strings.
it's doing this flip-flop thing.
I
where
know.
It's like
You take
drums
one up,
sound good.
the other one goes
yeah,
down.
They can't get them right.
Yeah.
That sounds different than the last song. Drums are a little punchier.
Which of the witches do you belong? The one with the eye patch or the
Still good guitars, yeah.
Yeah,
I know you can't trust anyone.
drums are.
How do you capture a fool?
They are still lacking a bit though.
They are.
Sleep, pretend,
Jump to one more.
destruction. Help me die. Don't wanna rush ya.
Sounds bigger on this one.
All I need is a full
Yeah, it's
noise to help.
Still a bit on the raw side compared to their newer stuff.
A great illusion.
It's a good song though.
Now I'm ever
So the next album, Only Revolutions, I have this on vinyl and it sounds really good.
missing pieces. Is that where we're at?
No, that's B-sides. We'll
Oh.
do Only Revolutions. We'll
Oh.
stick to their main releases. Sorry. Hi-hats are loud. Very forward.
It's not as spacious as the last albums. Everything's a lot
Yeah.
closed in more.
Tighter for sure.
It's not really punchy.
No, I can't hear the kick drum. I lose the snare a bit too.
It's
Now I can hear it, but
it's very raw sounding. It doesn't sound like they spent a lot of time on this. This might actually be the worst sounding of them yet to me.
yeah, with the drums, I like the texture. I really like the texture on those cymbals, or the ride.
Yeah, guitars aren't very loud. I'm almost searching for them a little bit.
Such a shame because this is where they start to hit their stride with songwriting. These songs are really good, but you're right. Mix-wise, I'm kind of sad. Cymbals and everything are pretty bright and crispy, but
Like I
I
wouldn't
can't hear the kick or snare at all.
like it's just like very average. It's just not.
Try. There's a lot of different styles on this album.
It's the same to me, really. It
Didn't change much, right?
not really. I mean,
Try a faster
I've never heard an album where they're like all of a sudden the mix just like
got better.
fully
Yeah,
got
it's not
better
gonna
like
get
another
much better.
song. You really.
Kick drum changed
Where's-
here a little.
You still can't hear it. There's no punch behind anything.
You're right.
This is probably the worst sounding album thus far from them, I think. Thus far.
I wasn't expecting it, but you're right. I don't want to admit it. So the next album, Opposites.
Opposites, okay.
Sounds like balloons.
No, I didn't know what you meant there for a second. I'm like, it sounds like balloons. What are you
That's the
talking
name of the
about?
song.
Oh, like, that's a new, okay, we
That
got
kick's got
punch.
some girth, yeah, it's punching.
You know, there's a lot more space here.
There is.
Things are wider.
Gives us some space.
The cymbals made their ways out of the center of the mix,
Yeah.
which is nice.
The snare texture is perfect.
I don't know if the guitar is cutting through as much as I'd want it, but I'd like to hear a little more here.
Yeah.
This is not for your entertainment. The land at the end of our toes goes on and on and on and on. The sound
The drums get a little lost there.
They do. The guitar sounds fuller, though.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go again.
So we lose the drums.
We lose the drums. And the guitar, his voice and the guitar are very loud.
The voice gives a lot of
Now
space.
they are loud,
Yeah.
which is weird because the drums were louder.
See, now they cut through a little more. It's
Here.
like the guitar starts to drown it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's better than the last one,
Yeah.
but
Let's
it's
hear another song. This is a double LP album. It's like 24 songs. 23. Yeah, 24 songs.
that snare gets lost under that guitar. It's a shame because there's a little bit of punch there. A little bit.
Yeah.
But that snare just... Shame.
Again, this is like this album and Only Revolutions. The songs are good, but mix is not where you want it to be.
Not really.
The next big release, Ellipses. There's maybe a couple of... There's like 2 singles on it that I think are pretty good.
Okay.
Go with Wolves of Winter. I'll fast forward a little bit here.
It sounds a lot like the last album.
What happened to the drums? It got even worse. Snare sounds horrible.
Now everything's
They went tighter
everything's
again.
closed in
Yeah.
again. It
What the
doesn't have
heck?
that space.
The drums got very dull and flat
Yeah.
compared to the last one. This is the single from the album. The guy from Goldfinger produced this one, so I think it should probably sound different.
It's really a shame because when the drums aren't right, nothing sounds right.
It's true.
It's like
Even when the guitar sounds good, or like the whole mix is just not.
it's like a car with bad rims on it. You're just like you're looking at it going, you know, this would really be great if you just took those pieces of crap rims off.
Can't hear the kick drum. Kinda can. I don't
It's not
like
doing
this mix
anything
at all,
for me.
no.
It's
worse than the last 2 albums.
Shame. I feel like if they could get the drums right, this would sound great.
Yeah. This is a motion picture soundtrack that I'm actually not too familiar
What, Celebration of Endings?
with. No, Balance not familiar.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one.
I don't wanna be defeated, I just wanna fuck. What? I don't wanna be conceited, shit, I'm out of luck. What?
Cymbals sound good.
It's lacking the punch a little bit, but I feel like it's a lot more balanced than it's been.
Oh, definitely.
The guitars sound good.
We got more space again.
Their space is back. The drums are mixed right. Although the snare is a little quiet.
As is the kick.
Overall, this sounds better than the last couple albums have.
It's pretty cohesive. First couple songs are pretty
Actually, I was
popular.
kind of, that
Yeah, I
song
like
wasn't
that
bad.
song.
I was getting into it.
I've never heard of this movie before. I don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
Oh boy.
Never Ending Story?
They do this on their
Or
album
the
sometimes. You're like,
safety
where did this
dance?
come from?
It's lacking the girth.
Sounds like an 80s song, but yeah, it's definitely lacking girth.
Left to my devices.
Song open up at all?
Thing without
It's all acoustic. It's lacking girth.
Yeah, it's very flat.
It's flat. I think the album's kind of flat. Next album, Celebration of Endings.
Okay.
We could probably do a whole video just on this album
Really?
because there's so many different sounding things. We're gonna start with. We'll do Weird Leisure.
Now,
Where's everybody going? Is it around to the pleasure house?
it's wide.
We're fighting an ugly
I'm not losing anything.
No. It's kind of lacking the girth a bit. It's
Girthier than they've been.
yeah.
pictures of canyons open between. When I caught your eye, I glimpsed a black star.
A few different styles I want to check on this.
On, you're not looking civilized. You're bursting into pieces. You polished up your cocaine.
That's pretty good compared to the other ones.
It is. The guitar is still something's still wrong though. It's not.
It
It's
reminds me of the Deftones, how the guitar's there, but it's not as present as it should be in the mix.
Yeah, it's not cutting through the way it should be.
I know what you mean.
The drums do sound
Another one.
decent. The voice is there. Although his voice is kind of back a little bit.
Yeah. Song's a little corny, but I like it.
And it's not really like blowing my skirt up, but
No.
I mean, it's not bad. It's average.
Never contemplated a sad life. Since I
Drums are
found
pretty
the
punchy,
medicine
I think.
jar. Now I can ignore all my troubles.
I like the snare sound at least.
This weight is crippling, this weight is crippling me. It's the same old story. This weight is crippling.
Alright, there's one more that's pretty aggressive.
The guitars are something's lost. It just
Yeah, they're kind of thin.
yeah.
He's playing a single coil guitar, Stratocaster, so they're probably just the way the tone is. I personally kind of like it.
You don't?
I do.
Oh,
I think it works well on this album.
Yeah, it's not really a matter of guitar tone. It's just
It doesn't fill out though.
when it starts up.
Like right here, it should be.
Yeah, it sounds like it's back too far. Like it's staged right, but it's not enough. It's not bad though. The overall mix is not bad, but I don't think it's their best sounding album. Again.
It's pretty cohesive though.
No, it's good. It's definitely good overall.
There's one more, which is brand new. The Myth of Happily Ever After. This is the sister album too.
All right.
North of No South. I haven't heard any of this. Actually, I did a pass through of it, but
The glass is not half full, it's not half empty. Instead it lays out upon the floor. Reason
Things are kind of closed in a little more.
this has gone. All this guarantees the fucking state we're in.
Snare's given some space.
Nothing in. We'll take
A little flat.
It's flat again. His voice might be the best sounding thing here. Again, the guitars are kind of back there. It's kind of suffering from the
song.
same issues as the other albums are.
you're right.
It's not really there. Jesus.
A little messy.
That is messy. It's hard to tell what's even going on.
Look how she lays. This must be deja vu. Trade like her dress on the floor, a different shade of blue.
It
You don't show.
the drums, I don't know, everything sounds weird to me in this mix. Like the guitars aren't loud enough, the drums aren't loud enough or staged properly. It's hard to describe this.
In this universe,
It's lacking the girth.
happy just
Doesn't have the space as the other ones did.
Right.
born to score.
Cymbals sound okay. Yeah, snare sounds okay.
Snare sounds good.
That's not why we
It's just nothing's cutting through, I feel like, the way it should.
That's not what this is for. Can you find an answer?
Yeah, not bad sounding, but it's not.
Again, it's very average sounding to me.
Yeah.
It's not something I would seek out to tell people to listen to, like, you know.
Right. I get it.
Even if I fall in
Still a great band, but yeah,
close, a mystery
I can't disagree with.
the story should be beautiful.
So,
Mixes are kind of all over the place,
yeah.
Another species to
but generally suffer from the same thing. The guitars
they
and cutting
do.
through, drums aren't always punchy or mixed right.
Pause that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most of the time they everything kind of, it was flip-flopping for a while, and then every album kind of suffered from the same problems. But it seems to me like the album you thought was going to sound the best didn't.
It didn't.
Which one did you think was going to sound the best?
The North of No South, second to last, or Celebration of Endings,
Oh, okay.
rather. North of No South is the first
Wow.
song. Yeah.
Which the best one, I'm trying to remember which one it was
It was
now.
one of the earlier ones. I think it was Vertigo of Bliss or Puzzle.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember which one it was.
Let's go back to Vertigo of Bliss real quick.
except for the midnight,
Yeah.
Wow.
This was it.
but we'll scratch away too.
Drum mix is totally different.
It's so good. See, everything is clear.
I can hear everything. You're right. It's rawer sounding.
It's rawer, but it,
the drums are punchy.
Drums
and
are
clear.
perfect.
They got good texture. Wow, what a difference! Oh, that snare is so good. So is the kick. If we could take what they did on the guitar tone on the newer albums and just
I know.
apply it to this album,
Everything's just
it'd
so
be amazing.
clear and precise. When you really compare, like that last one we listened to was a mess.
It was very
It sounded
messy.
like static.
Overproduced. I don't know, they just crushed everything and threw it all in there.
This is nice and clear. It's easy to decipher what's going on.
Yeah, let me jump back to one more song.
It's tough for me because I don't know these albums, so
Right.
it's hard for me to like decipher where we were at any given moment now. But
That's a good guitar tone. It's got a good texture
which one
too.
is this? Okay.
Still same album.
Not quite as punchy as the last song
No.
was, but it's not a mess.
No. I think the raw sound helps more. It's a quieter song.
It's the only problem with a lot of older, or it's like first time albums, like they seem to be a little more inconsistent with mixing and
mixing-
volumes. You notice like little differences.
Yeah, on the album itself. Yeah. This is from the first song. Same album. I still can't believe Only Revolution sounded bad. I just don't remember it sounding bad.
See, you're so biased about it.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
why
had
it
to
was good
sound
to listen to it.
you.
Yeah, I just in my head I'm like that's the thing. I don't care that they're not
No,
great sounding mixes. I still love the songs.
Right.
But
But
this is the
that's
2010 album. Yeah, I can't go back from that good drum mix on Vertigo of Bliss.
Yep.
These songs are so good. Man. Yeah, it's very different.
The one thing I will say is that
I took the red pill. What can I
It-
say?
it doesn't necessarily ruin. I guess it does a little bit ruin the things that you will listen to, and you go back and listen to it, and you'll be like, yeah, you know what, this really doesn't sound as good as I thought. Once you're looking at it through this lens, but it doesn't really take away from the music that you really like. I mean, it's just more an analytical stance, I guess. From
Yeah, it's not going to make me dislike the band or the
course.
songs more. It's just going to make me aware that
right,
they don't sound as good as I thought they did.
yeah.
When you really sit down and listen to them, your favorite songs probably sound like shit.
They probably do.
But it's all good.
Because you notice also, like, we listened to how many albums were there from these guys? 10?
Quite a few.
And it's like, how many of them actually sounded great?
Maybe one. They almost got there on some of them, but then
It shows you how rare it is, like, to get it right. And even some of the other bands we did, it's like, how many albums did you really pick out and say, oh, that, like, it's really just like almost one each time?
right. Yeah, it usually comes down to one. It's never that consistent across the discography, which makes sense unless you're using the same studio and producer every time.
It must
Even then,
be really difficult.
probably. But I think that's all we got for the Biff.
Yeah.
Roger that.